That's huge, huh?
It is.
Absolutely. Look, man, that's one thing that we got to be better at, gang, is finding pain. If you don't find pain, like I've been getting calls recently about few agents when they are with a client, and then they tell me, hey, I have this client here. We're trying to figure out what to do for them. And so I ask basic questions. So tell me, who's the loved one they're trying to protect? So if you call me, like finding pain, if you want to make like a shorthand, if you want to just pretend like you're going to call me, and here's a question I'm going to ask you. Number one, who's the loved one they're trying to protect and why? That's simple. Who's the loved one they're trying to protect and why are they trying to protect them? Like if you can't tell me that, then it's like you need to get the heck out of there right away, because we're not going to try to sell something to someone who has no pain, right? But you got to ask them the questions to find the pain. Joe and Mary, let me ask you, when you were filling this form out, take me back to when you filled this out. Were you doing it right here at the kitchen table? Take me back to when you filled this out. What were you thinking when you were writing your name, your birth date, your height and weight, your smoking status, and you signed the form? What was on your mind? And then I shut up and I let them answer the question, right? When they answer the question, they say, well, typically it works like this. Well, we're just looking at how much this cost. It's like, oh man, absolutely. I'm going to get to that part. That's page 10. We're still on page 1. Because look, if you don't have a real need for this, it doesn't matter if it costs $1 a month, right? Right? I'm planting a seed when I ask that question. Now, so tell me, what was on your mind when you filled this out? Well, I just want to make sure that the mortgage is paid off. So when I die. Okay, that's kind of a wimpy answer. In my mind, that's a wimpy answer because it's not emotional. Well, I just want to make sure the mortgage is paid off. It's like, okay, so you as the insurance professional need to ask more questions. The pain finding process takes 10 good questions. You got to be willing to ask 10 good questions to get to the real emotional pain. And by the way, the only way you can ask deep questions is if you create a good bond and rapport. So in our sales process, everything links to the first thing, which is bond and rapport. If you ever ask a question that they don't want to answer, it's because you didn't build enough trust with them in the bond and rapport process. You'll never drill down to the emotional pain. So you got to do the bond and rapport well, and don't get out of the bond and rapport until it's done well enough where you start asking these questions. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can cover you and make sure the mortgage is paid off, but tell me what would happen if I left today. Let's say you wanted to think about it, and you didn't get it covered, and then you die tomorrow in a car accident out here on 725, drunk driver, head-on collision, and you're gone. So tell me what happens to your family. In fact, Mary, this happens to Joe. Tell me what happens to your family. And then I shut up. Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Well, I mean, when's the mortgage due? First of the month. And how much is your mortgage? $1,256. Okay. So $1,256. And I'm sure, now I'll go massive negative reverse. I started negative reversing the crap out of them. Say 1256, I'm sure you probably have enough in savings to cover that mortgage payment for what, the next 6 months? Now shut up. Remember, it was last week or the week before I talked about negative reversing and getting behind the client. This is totally getting beyond the client. So I'm sure you probably have enough savings to cover that $1,256 for at least 6 months. And then I shut up. I let silence close them. And they're thinking, oh, no, we don't have enough of that. We're not going to be able to do that. Oh, man. Then I let that sink in. I just shut up. Oh, man. Well, I'm sure you probably have, your parents could probably help you. I'd probably have family that'll help you at least make that mortgage payment for the next 6 months? No. No, we don't have anyone to help us out. Well, how long do you think you could stay in the house with you and your children before the bank forecloses on you and forces you to move out? And I don't care if that silence is 10 minutes. I'm going to shut my pothole and I'm going to wait for them to answer the dadgum question, because that's pain finding, not wimpy ass pain finding where you go, oh, so you just want to pay your mortgage off? Oh, great. Well, let me show you 3 different product premiums that will help you. Oh my gosh, gang. It just really torques me. I just want to twist someone's head off when they call me, and then I'm asking them, so who's the loved one they're trying to protect? And then they on the phone go, oh, by the way, who's your beneficiary? Why do you need this? And they go to the guy, so why do you need this? What? Like, am I supposed to run the appointment for you? You're the one that's supposed to do bond report with the client right there, not me. You're the one that's supposed to ask him the questions, not me. So when I ask you, hey, why did they want this coverage? You're supposed to tell me something like, well, the wife is very unsure as to what's going to happen with them. She really doesn't know how long she's going to be able to stay in the house. They're probably going to foreclose on her, and she doesn't want that to happen. Hark, we have pain. We have pain. We have someone who needs something. Now, if they don't need anything, you go, well, he doesn't have a beneficiary. He doesn't care if his house gets foreclosed on when he dies. He doesn't know who's going to bury him, and he could care less about it. Then I say, okay, let me ask you a question. Why don't you ask the client this? Like, if he gets sick and can't work, and he needs money to help pay the mortgage, is that something that would be a problem if he got sick and couldn't work? So here's where we go with that. We go with living benefits. We go with, if they get critically ill or chronically ill, we got money for them that they can pay their mortgage with, called an accelerated benefit rider, living benefits rider for chronic illness, critical injury, critical illness. If they don't give a squat about the death benefit, then great, we got another place to go. If he doesn't have a beneficiary, the most important beneficiary then is himself. Well, let's talk to him about how to help himself. If he's so, like, he doesn't care after he dies, then let's worry about him caring about when he lives but doesn't die. That's the problem, if he lives but doesn't die, right? So you won't ever know that until you ask the pain questions, because the pain questions for something like that go like this. So, Joe, tell me what you're thinking when you fill this out. Well, take me back. Well, this thing that said disability, I was really interested in that. Oh, why would you be interested in disability? Well, because I'm currently on disability, and so I just want to see that if I can get paid more for being on disability. Oh, okay. So you're looking for some kind of benefit then, for more benefit because you're disabled currently. Yes. Why are you disabled? Tell me about the physical situation that caused you to be disabled. Well, I had an accident at work. I hurt my back. I had an operation. I could not work anymore. And so I applied for Social Security disability, now on disability. Okay. And how much does that pay you every month? Blah, blah, blah. It tells me how much. Okay. Well, look, the way insurance companies work, they don't have disability programs for people already on disability. Have you ever tried applying for any kind of disability program? Yeah, I applied for disability, but these companies wouldn't approve me. How many companies did you apply with? 3 companies? Well, that's just how it is, Joe. I mean, you know how it is. Like, you can't apply for disability if you're already on disability because you're already on disability. Does that make sense? Okay. And so now let me ask you, I have another way to handle it if you're open. What do you mean? Well, I have a way that if you become critically ill, that you can get money for your death benefit. I have a way that if you become chronically ill, you can accelerate that death benefit. And if you get critically injured, you can accelerate that death benefit. So beyond your disability, should you get sick and for any other reason, how would you like to get paid money because you're critically ill, right? I hear someone that is unmuted. Anyway, and so when you're critically ill, you can get money. How would you, so if you got sick in the hospital and you're in the hospital for an extended period of time, wouldn't you like to get some money to help you make your mortgage payment? Then I shut the heck up. Okay, that's like, hold on. Okay, stomped it out. Wouldn't you like get some, look, the guy is always thinking about himself. He doesn't have anyone that loves him enough to bury him. So I'm not going to talk about burial and trying to force him to get a burial insurance. I'll talk about living benefits, right? So maybe we can get him some living benefits from one of our Universal Life or Index Universal Life products like National Life Group or Forrester Smart UL, something so he can get some money, because all the dude's thinking about himself, which is what people do. All people do think about themselves or their families. Since he doesn't have a family that gives a squat about him, let's have him think about on his own selfish desires of wanting to take care of himself with living benefits. So that's an option. But you never know that until you start asking him these questions. Pain finding is the most important thing that you can do. And notice I didn't tell the wife what her pain ought to be. I just asked questions. You want to hear some more awesome questions? So where will you go, Mary, after the bank forecloses on you? And I'm doing it nicely with a nurturing attitude. I'm nice about it. I'm not wanting to be sarcastic. I'm nurturing. I'm being kind. And out of my kindness comes these questions. So tell me, what are you going to do? And then I shut up. Oh, I don't know. And then I negative reverse again, man. I love negative reversing for pain. So I'm going to say, well, I'm sure your mom and dad will probably be able to take you and your kids in. They probably have an extra room, like the sewing room or something, that they can put you and your children in. Is that an option? Then I shut up. I let her think about the thought of her having to ask to stay with her parents. She might say, well, yeah, they take me in. Oh, okay, great. You probably throw all your furniture into their garage. Oh, no way. Okay, so you probably have to do a yard sale. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm like sticking the knife in and I'm turning it because I'm making sure the pain hurts enough where she just can't stand it anymore and says, we need this now, Joe. This guy's not leaving here until we get this covered, right? So I'm sticking it in some more. So tell me, where do your parents live? They live close by? Oh no, they live far away. We're gonna have to move. Oh man, so you're gonna have to take your kids out of school. So they're gonna have to go to school like by where your parents live? And she's thinking about all her friends and all the sports and all the network of families that they've developed over the years in this school. They got to pull their kids out of school. They got to go move to New Jersey and Trenton, in the middle of Trenton, and go to the Trenton public school system to put their children in, which they have a horrible thought that, oh my God, the reason my kids are in private Christian school is so they didn't have to go to a public school where they could get bullied. I don't have to say that. That's going on in her head. The most powerful pain is the one she conjures up in her own imagination of what is going to happen if she doesn't take care of this now. And if you are so uncaring about the clients you sit down with, you're so wimpy ass that you won't ask these hard questions, then you might as well quit the business because you ain't caring enough about people. You're too selfish of wanting to be liked. You want to be liked by all your clients because you think if they like you and you're so polite that they're going to buy from you. No freaking way. Oh my gosh. Buck up, dude. Put a thimbleful of boldness and buck the heck up to do your job in the home. Buck up. Be a man. Be a woman. Protect that family because you care about them. Oh my gosh, dude, seriously? I think this is the problem. The problem is you're not asking hard enough questions with a nurturing attitude that was developed in the bond and rapport. It's a simple process if you're willing to ask the questions. I have got a ton of videos on our agent resources training website that goes into pain finding, pain questions. Okay, this is just a short little thing. I'm just trying to shock and awe you into doing what your job is, because I believe that you don't care enough about your client if you're not willing to go there with them, man. Take them to the pain. Take them to the emotion. And here's how you know that you're in the right place is when it is uncomfortable, when it doesn't feel good for you to take them there. That's how you know you're going the right place. So I hope that makes sense. We lost 3 people. I guess 3 people decided to quit. That cracks me up. Anyway, do you have any questions? When I let it roll. Man, this is skillful. Love the positioning. Hey, that's where I sell. That is where you sell. Shelly. Trenton, New Jersey. I just came up with that. Anyway, so can you please buck up? Can you please put your big boy pants on, your big girl pants on, and do your job as a salesperson? Go in there and protect families because you care enough about them to take them to the emotional pain part. And if they have no pain, then you need to get out of there quick, as fast as you can. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Get the heck out of there. So anyway, I'm done with that topic on pain finding. I'm big on it, and I think it'll help you. I hope it I hope it lit a fire into you, you know. And it doesn't matter if don't be the angry Filipino. I'm teaching it like this because I want to wake you up. When you're in the home, you're kind, you're nurturing, you're gentle. You created bond and rapport. They like you because you care about them to ask the hard questions. So you're nurturing, you're mirror matching the client. You're matching their body positions. Your vocal quality is soft, caring, and nurturing. You're not making any big deal about it. You're just asking the questions, and then you're shutting up and letting silence being your best closing buddy. All right?